Inspirational Creatives, episode 246. Welcome to Inspirational Creatives. I'm your host, Rob Lawrence. Join me every Friday as I chat with successful artists, producers, and creative entrepreneurs who share powerful stories and strategies. They can help you to create the life that you want. Listen each week as these inspirational creatives show you how to take your creativity to the next level. You'll learn how to create a sustainable business that inspires others and gives you the financial freedom and lifestyle that you want. Thanks for listening. Make sure you sign up at inspirationalcreatives.com to get free exclusive bonus material. And now, on with the show. Rob here, and a very warm welcome to the Inspirational Creatives podcast. In the next 7 days, I'm going to be sharing with you the wisdom of Dr. Christine Lee, a procrastination coach who can help creative people like you and me to get unstuck and moving again with our creative projects and ideas. If you're new to this podcast and Inspirational Creatives, normally every Wednesday I share with you a short action episode which is designed to help you take some life-changing action towards living more creatively. Each Friday, I share with you a longer interview. However, for the next 7 days, I've chosen to share with you a mini-series focusing in on fear, and more specifically, the common fears that prevent us from getting our creative work done. So for the next 7 days, I'll be sharing with you an idea, a piece of inspiration, or an action, or a piece of wisdom from Dr. Christine Lee that I feel will help you to unlock your creative genius and your creative potential. So today it's Sunday and day 5 of our Overcoming 7 Fears in 7 Days mini-series. Yesterday we explored the fear of uncertainty, and today in this short episode we're going to explore the fear of losing our freedom, which I have come to realise is one of my own greatest fears. I'd like to look a little more closely at this fear with you today with procrastination expert and psychologist Dr. Christine Lee, who in episode 241 revealed to me the deep relationship between fear and procrastination. Before I share with you Christine's wisdom about spotting and beginning to overcome this particular fear, the fear of loss of freedom, I wanted to share with you some of my conversation with Christine, which was off air, because I feel what she had to share with me in my own private chat with her as we were preparing for this episode may be of interest to you and how it relates to the overarching theme for this mini-series, which is exploring the relationship between procrastination and fear. So here's a clip from my private conversation with Christine as we were preparing for this short episode. I remember this one in the webinar actually, and that really, this one really, I don't think I'd heard of it before. And I think this is the first time I got an awareness of this was in Pam's webinar with you. And it really stood out for me because I'm like, I didn't realise I fear this, but I do. And it's like, I actually underneath, it's probably the driving force behind so much of what I do. Because, and Pam would probably agree with this, it's like my highest value, I think, freedom. It's certainly one of them. And I protect it against all odds, or at all costs. So anyway.
But the irony is, as soon as you begin protecting it, you're no longer free. And this is the crazy thing about procrastination. Doesn't make any sense when taken to its most chronic levels. That why would anyone just prevent themselves continuously from moving forward? It doesn't make any sense. Not only are you not being free, you're not really living the life that you could be. And it makes no sense, but it does make sense to our internal fear-based system. So if we stay still, then no one can take our freedom from us, and we will not relinquish our freedom to stay stuck. But I think I try to coach people that there's a better way. There's a better way than staying stuck. But I do believe that the body acts in its best interest. And sometimes we come to the unfortunate conclusion that procrastination is right now our best idea. And that's why I'm out here trying to spread the word that there's so many other ideas other than procrastination. So let's try those out.
So basically, sometimes we feel the best thing to do is to stand still and refuse to move forward. So we can't then have our freedom threatened in that way because that's how we feel about it.
Yes, we'd be willing to endure some pain to protect ourselves.
What fascinated me about what Christine shared with me in this private conversation as we were preparing for this episode is that sometimes we believe that by remaining still, nobody can take our freedom away from us. This creates procrastination, and I believe it's often why we get stuck and stall on our best creative projects and work. We're willing to endure that pain rather than move forward with the risk of losing our freedom, which may not be a real risk anyway. Counterintuitively, taking action can actually protect our sense of freedom. So I asked Dr. Christine Lee what her best advice would be in terms of spotting and dealing with this fear, this sense of losing our freedom. Here's what she shared with me.
I guess one thing would be that you'd be procrastinating a lot. You'd be procrastinating about a lot of different issues, and that your initial inclination would be to not move forward, that you would look for lots of different ways to do what other people are asking you to do, or to give up space or time or freedom in your schedule, let's say, or in your living space, let's say, if you're sharing a room, or, we're always having to cooperate with other people. And so that can get very prickly very quickly if you're feeling like, your roommate's request in the refrigerator is an impingement on your freedom. I'm getting really small here, but that stuff happens. If we can't think outside of ourselves, we start to get more controlling. We start to get more anxious, and more things tend to pile up of potential fears or inconveniences or irritations. So the idea that I'm trying to promote is that real freedom, where we can tolerate the minor inconveniences and criticisms and things that we just don't like in life, in exchange for this bigger opportunity to do what we really want to do, to have fun, to play, to contribute, to produce, and to live really fully with your heart fully inside that experience, without holding back and without being nervous all the time.
In life, we're often having to cooperate with other people. We can sometimes perceive this natural overlapping of boundaries as a threat to our freedom, or our sense of freedom. Real freedom can tolerate minor inconveniences, criticisms, and perceived threats. This freedom is an opportunity, a bigger opportunity, as Christine puts it, where we can choose to do what we want, where we can play, have fun, contribute, produce, and live fully inside an experience without holding back. I asked Dr. Christine Lee how we can move away from this fear of losing our freedom towards finding the freedom that we're looking for. Here's what she had to say.
Be truthful to yourself and be true to yourself, and question, is my current action really serving my need? Am I heading toward the end goal that I desire, or am I just staying still because of fear?
So to summarize then, Christine recommends being truthful to yourself by asking yourself, is your current action or actions serving your needs? Is what you're doing right now moving you towards your goals and desires? Our experience and sense of losing our freedom is often experienced when we're not taking action towards what it is that we do want. Paradoxically and perhaps counterintuitively, the process of taking action can sometimes give us a deeper sense of freedom. I hope Christine's wisdom in this episode was useful to you in some way today. Let me know your thoughts on today's inspiration by dropping me an email at rob@inspirationalcreatives.com, and join me again tomorrow where we explore the fear of comparison. Thanks for listening. Nothing beats the stories and advice of an expert to help you raise your creative game. I would love to know what you thought about today's episode, so don't forget to subscribe in iTunes where you can rate and review the show. If you like this episode, I invite you to share it on Facebook or Twitter with the one person you know who will benefit from the wisdom shared here today. You can find the show notes on inspirationalcreatives.com/podcast. If you have a burning question or a great idea for a guest, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com/contact, where you can connect with me there.